you said right from the first film, you kind of learned how to focus. What is that focus? What does that focus involve? Like if somebody here wants to become an actor, how do they block out the everything but the scene?
I think today the definition of wanting to become an actor is so varied because there are so many platforms today. There is so much work that everybody can do. So, firstly, what is the reason that you want to become an actor? Is it for the love of the craft, or is it because of the glamour that is added to it by people around? So I think what is important is that every time it's not important to be the main star or the main protagonist. If you want to be an actor, you can do so many varied characters. Everybody doesn't have to keep working towards becoming the main star. And if you like acting, you should be able to be open to do different things, not only in cinema, but on, say, television, on OTT, in theater. So it depends on what is your goal. What is the goal that they want to achieve? Is it that they look for quick money? Are they looking for quick fame? Are they looking for quick recognition? One has to be very honest with oneself. And only when you're honest with oneself would you kind of decide as to what goal you want to follow. Like for me, it was like I'm a horse in the Chinese calendar. So I'm like horse with blinkers. So I kept the noise out and I kept seeing my goal and my vision, which is keep doing, important characters, special women characters, showing the world what Indian women are all about, and really strong characters. Because if I had to listen to the noise, those things would not have been possible. So that's how I've kept my blinkers on.
Right, and that happened for you somehow right from the start, because along with these, for the lack of a better word, very mainstream commercial heroine roles, who kind of roles, you were doing very interesting other kinds of roles. But before you say, we get to black or whatever it is, what does it mean to play a mainstream heroine? Because those are necessary, because they establish a star, they give you some standing, you're acting in movies that are probably going to be hits, but there's also not much for you to do in certain films. When you take up those films, how do you say, this is how I'm going to do some kind of value add to this character who's
So I'll have to break up your question and I have to break up my answer to answer this clearly. So as I told you, I wasn't really uh, planning on becoming an actor, and I became an actor by chance. And the first few films of mine, where we call them those literally the mainstream roles, I think I just powered through wanting to give my parents a better life. That was my focus. The characters or the films or the roles were not important for me so much, but what was more important to me was giving a more comfortable life to my parents. It was more about powering through whatever my mom brought to the table, that, okay, this is the film, this is the role, this is the character, go ahead and do it. And I was like going shift after shift, sometimes working 72 hours at a stretch without sleeping or even going home. And that was the kind of work that I was doing, till such point that I realized, because that time we used to get a lot of fan mails. Today in this generation, there's social media, and you get to know things quite instantly. Those times were fan mails, and I used to read each and every one of them. Uh, and what I realized through those letters that my fans wrote, that they loved me so immensely, but they were disappointed with the kind of roles I was taking. And they expected me to do more character driven roles. They wanted me to do roles where I'm center and front, headlining. And that's when I saw that my fans have so much faith in me. That isn't just a way of earning your bread and butter. This is much more than that. It's a huge responsibility. And there are people who have actually accepted you and made you part of their family, because they are the ones rooting for you. And for me, somewhere I felt that, they are so loyal and they love me so much that they even fight for me. So I have to give them something back. And my giving them something back was the change that happened in my career. And that's when I accepted roles like Satya and Yuva and those kind of films that came in my life. That was when I was ready to, move on from just doing those, say, certain roles which I didn't give much thought to the time that I was actually thinking about these characters. Who is this character? Who is Sohani Sharma? What is she bringing to the table? Or who is Samia Siddiqui? Who is Michelle McNally? Who is Ria uh, Prakash, from Hum Tum? So these are the characters that I did, and I realized that I'm really in love with cinema because they are such wonderful roles. They are such wonderful stories that I want to tell the audience. First, in my teenage years, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for pack up. Now I'm waiting for the scene to get over or the entire thing to wrap up, and I'm more interested in, okay, have we got the shot right? Have we done the best to my ability? So I've also grown as a person.
Yeah.
In cinema, I've started off as a teenager. I became a young girl. I became a young woman, to a wife, to a mother. So even I've grown in this journey of mine.